Let's get on to LeBron James, who started this whole I want to play with my best friend in Miami thing. He is now in Los Angeles, finds himself in the unfamiliar position of being out of the playoff picture at the moment. Hasn't been this far out, right, Brian, since his second year in the league. Remember, they did not make the playoffs that year, but he addressed it when speaking to the media yesterday. Here's LeBron.
It's been quite a while for me that I've been under 500 going into the All-Star break. I don't remember the last time. So, you know, my level of intensity has to be, unfortunately for me, because I don't like to do it at such an early time. I'm a little bit different, but it's been activated, so look forward to seeing what we can do. I'm all about being uncomfortable. I love being uncomfortable. I fall in love with being uncomfortable, so this is another uncomfortable thing for me, and I love it.
Let's take a look at the standings here. They are 3 games back of that 8th spot. They have the 4th hardest schedule in the league for the rest of the way.
You know what? Let's not talk about the 8th spot anymore. They really got to get the 7th spot.
Right? They do got to get. I agree with you.
I mean, getting the 8th spot gets them an extra week and maybe an extra 5 games if they play well.
Right.
What they want, what LeBron wants, is a 7 and a fighting chance against. No offense to the Nuggets, but it's a better fighting chance.
Okay, so you heard him say this is a lot sooner than I like to become playoff LeBron. Is it too soon or is it too late?
He is completely out of his normal routine. Normally he sort of builds up through the course of the year, really going about March. He's been the best player in March and April the last 3-4 years in the NBA. Maybe he hasn't been the MVP for the first 2 months. He's been the MVP of the league for the last 2 months. He's off that. He isn't in the condition he's normally into. He's activating 0 dark 23 or whatever. That's what he usually calls his playoff activation. He's not used to being in this position. He's not used to not being able to afford a loss where he could just take in low energy game. This is something that just about everything in the NBA he's handled. This is not something he's used to doing.
So what does that do to you as a player, Tracy?
I mean, he's one of the most conditioned players ever to come through our league. Like, he knows his body. But for me, 34 years old, all the mileage, you get hurt this season, you miss 18 games, more games you ever missed in, your career. And then now you're trying to ramp it up to another level just to push your team into the playoffs could further risk, injuries. And I'm of the mindset, like, let's not push it, because I don't see them getting the 7th seed. I really don't even see them making the playoffs. So do you really want to push it to that level just to see if you think
it's too late?
I think it's too late.
Zion could come out here, Anthony Davis could come out here, and the 3 of them could hang on the beach, is what he said.
I think it's too late.
Man, I don't know. I do understand what you're saying about the 8th spot, the 7th spot, but I think them not making the playoffs at all would be such a hit.
I'm always giving LeBron James the benefit of the doubt. I absolutely believe he can still do this.
You did mention just now, we're going to go to break in a second, but you said he's not in his best shape. I know you've been talking a little bit on other platforms about, you think he's what?
Well, I don't know exactly how much he weighs, but at one point he was higher weight than he normally would be. And he openly talked about it, which is how it got to my ears. But I think LeBron would admit he's not in the shape that he's normally in the middle of February. And so, but he said yesterday that he is in shape, and he's recovered from the injury. So in my mind, that means that going forward, now that he said that, we can't look to the injury as any reason why he's not playing at the highest level.
Kind of like Steph in the playoffs that year. You're like, hey, I'm good. So then
his last few weeks, he has been good, but he has not been great. And so if he is not great going forward because of what he said, I will believe that it's not because of the injury.